For me, you know, it was a gift. I mean, I was flattered. You know, it meant that I was a part of the lore because I was just sort of always a Johnny-come-lately on the show, and you know, I'm here only because of Katee Sackoff.
Well, you're cute.
She brought me into this world, and she made it really damn clear that she could take me out. So every episode. So I mean, honestly, you know, here I was. I come on the show for 2 episodes in season 2, and then 2 became 4, and then they said, well, maybe we're going to have her come back and rescue you. So maybe it'll be 5 episodes, but it won't be more than 7. It's definitely not going to be 9. It might be 10 or 11. At most that you're going to come back, and 13 is all we're going to do. So I just kind of kept building and building and building, and to cap the whole thing off and to be invited into the Cylon family was truly an honor.
How does that Thanksgiving look? Pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Everything's served on toast.
This side.
Hey Katee, this question is for you. So after you were killed off, and you had kind of your hiatus, did you go on vacation? Did you know you were coming back and kind of sitting there being like, oh, I have a...
Oh, you mean the first time?
Yeah, the first time, yeah. What was just that like when you kind of are kind of in that little limbo?
Well, I knew I was coming back, and I think it was 4 episodes that I don't even remember if it was 2 or 4 that I wasn't in at the end.
2.
I don't remember. I just kind of was excited. It's like, I'm going to Mexico. And I'm getting paid. So it was kind of nice. But I think I just stayed at home. You know, the thing that I think that people really didn't understand about, you know, while we were shooting Battlestars, for 9 months out of the year, we were away from our homes. And Vancouver is not that far from LA. It's only 2.5 hours, but with customs on each end, it's like an extra hour plus getting there early. So it's like 5 hours to get to Los Angeles. So we didn't really get to go back as much as we wanted to. So it was a great time for me to be able to just go back and be home, you know? Be like, oh, that's what my couch looks like. I forgot. So.
We were at the season 3 wrap party, and David Icke takes the stage, and he stands up there and says, I just want to let you know that it's been really an honor and a privilege working with every single one of you, and Katee yells, you effing killed me! And then Monday, in Ain't It Cool News, I think it was, it says, drunk actor at bar spills and Starbucks dies.
I get yelled at all the time on my Twitter for, I mean, somebody actually told me that they wanted to kill me because I ruined Ted for them. The bear dies. I'm sorry. But it has a very Starbucks moment and comes back. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. How did you not see Ted yet? I've seen it 3 times. It's fantastic. Have you seen it?
Oh, I thought you were talking about those lectures by the leaders in society. Talking about the rom-com with the stuff down.
Yes, I am. I am talking about the brilliance that is Ted. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I will be taking death threats in a suggestion box at my desk. At my table.
This side.
This question is for everyone. Is there any actor that you would have liked to share a scene with on the show that you didn't get to?
Any of them.
Boxy, of course.
Whatever happened to that?
I don't know what happened to that kid. Unexplained mysteries.
He came back the 2nd season and was taller than everybody, and they were like, okay.
Boxy. Yeah. He scared Eddie. That was the end of Boxy.
Trisha walked by and he was checking out her ass, and they were like, we gotta get this kid out of here. He's not 8 years old anymore. 2 episodes, I think.
But he's probably out there somewhere.
Didn't we all kind of have scenes with everyone?
No, Richard and I never had a scene together. I don't think you and I ever stood on stage together.
No, we didn't.
We're never on set together.
Yeah.
Let's do something real quick here. Maybe a fight scene, an arm wrestling, something like that.
We can
question, yes, I would have loved to have shared some screen time with Richard.
Oh wow.
I really would have. That would have been nice.
But the beauty of the show was that we all kind of did get our moment with everyone. It was such a huge ensemble. It was pretty amazing achievement that the writers were able to sort of play that game of complicated, variable combinations.
True.
So we were lucky. It was a great vibe.
Yeah, even if you were only in a scene, like I was just thinking that I wasn't in scenes with Dean Stockwell, but I actually was. There were so many of them where that you actually forget that you ever had any, because I think everyone was like, we were always in scenes together that I don't think you realized how much you actually worked with one person.
True.
If that makes any sense.
No, that's well.
It's okay, I'm still drunk. No idea what I'm doing here.
It would have been nice to have more characters in my head, though.
Right.
Like James did.
You wanted to be silent.
Just own people in your head and have them appear when you wanted them and ignore them and have takes on your own and then they write them back in for another take.
Right.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
With Trisha.
With
Anyone else? No, I didn't get many scenes with Trisha.
You didn't?
No,
I didn't.
Now that I mention it.
Now that you're talking about it.
No, it's coming back.
Damn it!
Richard, when Ron Moore approached you to play Tom Zarek season 1, did you suspect you'd play him in almost as many episodes as you played the original Apollo?
Actually, I played it in exactly the same number of episodes, right? I counted, yeah, I did.
That's
I mean, it was
serendipitous.
spread out. I mean, over 4 or 5 years, but I mean, really. First of all, he said that it was a one-shot role that could turn into a continuing role. That's what he told me. And to tell you the truth, I've told this to people. I said, the minute I walked on that set, and I still say it because I've been in this business a long time, it was the most incredible collaboration between the writers and the producers and the director and the actors on that set. And I have never had that kind of creative, playing around with a scene, trying to find the best way to play it. And I had such an extraordinary time on that set that, I was dying to play it again. I wanted to continue. And Tom Zarek, as much as I love playing Captain Apollo, Apollo is a very challenging role to write for. Because the more fracked up you are, the more the writers want to write for you. And Apollo is a good guy, he's a true blue good guy with a lot of integrity. And so the writers have no clue, I think, what to do with the Apollo character, although I must say that his Apollo got to do a hell of a lot more interesting things than mine, 35 years earlier. But I gotta tell you, I was more than happy to play Tom Zarek. Tom Zarek is probably one of my most favorite characters I've ever played in my life. Really. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tara. My question is for Katie and Jamie. I think you two have amazing chemistry, and you made Kara and me my favorite fictional relationship of all time. I liked their relationship because it was so complex and layered, and they were kind of everything to each other, from friends to family to co-workers to enemies to sparring partners. Could you please both talk a little about what you love most about playing your relationship? Thank you.
Well, I think you've kind of put your finger on it. It was...
I'm sorry, just keep going.
Oh, the finger on it thing?
No.
What are you talking about?
What? No, I said keep going.
Okay.
Finger, what?
Ironically, the effect of keep going makes me stall. That was the thing, is that they are brother and sister, they are colleagues, they are rivals, they are, potentially more than brother and sister, and a lot of guilt involved in that. And so there was no simple way of playing any scene, and there was so much subtext to anything that they had going on. That was on the page, most of it. And then, you throw this guy into the mix, and the marriage partners, and then the boxing, and, it just, no two male-female characters have had that many sort of arenas to go at it in, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And they were very much equals, there was no, the BSG world is kind of unisex anyway, so there's that added thing that people aren't used to seeing. Me punching her, and nobody sort of an eyelid, or sharing a locker room and nobody batting an eyelid. Yet there's sexual tension and this sibling thing, the dead brother and all that kind of stuff.
There was actually, there were conversations about that before Apollo actually punched Starbuck back, because he did it with complete abandon. He just punched her back, and they were like, I don't know if the audiences are ready for you to just punch a woman in the face. And they're like, yeah, they are. They're ready.
I was ready.
Yeah, they're very ready. And I think I actually punched Jamie in the face during that scene.
Drew blood.
Yeah. It did. His eyes were watering. I was laughing.
So my British sense of chivalry went flying out the window really quickly. I was quite surprised. Like, blood.
Yeah, and so he hit me back.
Yeah.
You know what I loved about that, the Lee Kara thing was that, you know, so many times in series and in film, we were shown this kind of relationship between a man and a woman where your soulmate doesn't necessarily have to be the person that you're meant to be with. And I think that's what Kara and Lee had, was that they were soulmates, but they weren't meant to be together. And I think that it was the first time where, in a television series, they hadn't just miraculously worked everything out and ended up together like they do in most series. Like, these people are complete opposites, and they're like, but we still love each other, we're married now, and it's happily ever after. And I think that it was the first, like, true representation of that kind of relationship between a man and a woman, where they didn't end up together because they weren't supposed to end up together, but they were supposed to kind of learn everything from each other.
Yeah, well put. And that's why I think, for my money, the ending was quite sublime. And I know it pissed a lot of people off because, I don't know, maybe it seemed too cozy or something, but there was a sense in which, you know, you reconcile that they are part of each other. And marriage is not an option for, you know, that kind of relationship, I think, a lot of the time, especially with these two who couldn't work out what they were meant to be. And so, you know, the ending leaves so much to the imagination, and yet at the same time, it elegantly sort of sums up what Starbuck is, not just to leave it to the whole fleet. You know, she's a totem. You know, she's someone that they all believe in, and someone that keeps them going, even though she has been dead for a while. Just like grandparents can be with you for the rest of your life, long after they're gone, and guiding you and part of every decision that you make. I'm not sure how that squares out with all of the interaction you had for the last however many episodes after you died, but
right.
I mean, certainly for the end, it kind of was, I thought, beautiful and elegant and quite truthful.
And I liked the idea that she went off at the very end, regardless if it was her or, I think that, and Trigo would have to answer this question, but I think that towards the end, his character took on this higher power sort of like feeling, and Starbuck had that. And I think whether they were saying goodbye as Sam and Kara or as these two higher entities, knowing that they would see each other later, was just such a beautiful moment, because it was just like, I don't know, it was just, I was so happy that we had that kind of finality between our characters, because when Sam came in, like, he truly did shake up this relationship that we thought was so simple and plain on paper with Lee and Kara. We just thought that, of course, they'd end up together, that's just the way it was. And then Sam came in and kind of, like, changed everything, and I, you know, it was really nice.
Thanks.
Nothing.
I thought that was really